Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've posted a video. So hopefully I get on the ball and I start doing these videos because it's actually super fun to be here and be creative and show you what I can do. Alright, so I have created for you today a very colorful look. I was inspired by succulents, but it kind of didn't work out, so now it looks more like a Hawaiian sunset on summer days. Like, it's definitely super colorful. So if you guys are interested in seeing what products I use and how I got this look, then definitely stay tuned till the very end. Alright, hi guys. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a base shadow just so I can blend out bright colors a lot easier. So I'm taking the Tartlet. My palette's kind of smudged up. I'm taking this palette and I'm going to take this very light shade. And I'm just going to put that all over my eyelid just so I could have a good transitioning color. You guys know the deal. You already know. You need a good transition color. Take it all the way up to the top of the eyebrow. And I look super crazy right now. I have such dark circles under my eyes. I did not sleep very well, so there's that. But it's okay. I'll cover it up as soon as I'm done with all of the makeup that will fall everywhere. See, I don't usually do my foundation first, just for that very reason. And I used to do it the other way around, where I do my foundation and then my eyeshadows. But I get so frustrated with the fallout, so I'm just like, nah. I ain't doing it. Not doing it. Not gonna do it. Now that I have all that down, I'm going to take a peek. See, I'm gonna be trying to recreate this. Oh my gosh, let's see if I can do it. Ah, you see that? You see that flower right there? So pretty. I'm gonna try to recreate that. So I'm gonna look for colors that match up to those. So in the same Tartlet palette, I'm going to take the color Caregiver, which is this color right there. Focus. This color. I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush. I'm going to use a big fluffy brush like this one here. This big fluffy brush is going to get me the softness that I need to make sure everything is blended out pretty well. So I'm just going to take that and run it all through my crease area. Now you're going to want to continuously add color as you see fit. I'm just going to try my best to recreate that picture. So I'm going to add a lot more color to this. So I'm taking a denser fluffy brush, a smaller one. I'm going to go in with my NYX eyeshadow base in white, only because I'm adding yellow and like almost a neon pink to the eyelid, and because of my skin tone, it's not going to really pop as much as I would like it to. So I'm going to take some of that white eyeshadow base and I'm going to put it on a flat brush like this one here, and I'm just going to add that in the portions of my eye that I'm going to add the really bright colors to. So let's do it. And of course, add as much as you need. I'm just going to take my finger and dab it in just to blend it out a little bit more. Once you have it all blended in, you're just going to add more color. And you just pretty much add and add and add until you feel like you've added enough. So just do what feels right. And you want to try to get it as even as possible. Okay, so it's pretty much as even as I'm going to get it, I feel. Okay, and I find with the NYX, this NYX eyeshadow base, I find that if you continuously add the white, sometimes it can break apart and look patchy and weird. So you really want to be careful about that when you're applying it and you're wanting to use a very bright color on your eyelid, especially if you have a darker skin tone. So just be wary of that. So I'm going to take that brush again. I'm going to try to blend it out as nicely as I can, because I feel like if I use my finger, it's going to pick up a lot of the white. So I'm going to try to blend the edges with the brush. And you just want to do that very carefully. So now that we have that down, I'm going to take a yellow. I'm looking for my really beat up Sugarpill palette. I've had this palette for a while now and it's served me so well, and it's beat up. It's been well loved. So I'm going to take the yellow from that palette and I'm going to add it right into the innermost corners of my eye. So taking just another standard flat, dense brush, I'm going to go into that yellow and really pop that right into the corner. And you definitely want to make sure that you dab it, because if you try to swipe this eyeshadow on, especially over that white base is just going to move, and all of that is going to be for nothing, because you just made it crease. I'm just going to blend out the edges right where the white base meets my actual skin, like the demarcation mark. I'm just going to pat and slightly blend only on that area. Okay, so now that you have all that yellow down, I'm going to take my electric palette by Urbandecay, and this one is well loved as well. So I am going to take that neon pink color that's right there. I'm going to take that color and I'm going to add it to the yellow, blending them two together. So the rest of the white that's on the eye is going to have that pink right over top. Now I'm just going to take that and I'm going to drag it into the yellow. Now by doing this, should make the colors blend together.
Okay guys, so what you want to do is just keep going back and forth with the yellow and the pink just to make sure it's blended out pretty nicely. And here, as you can see the close-up, how I'm just patting it in and just blending back and forth until I get the color that I really want, or the intensity of the color. You guys can always go heavy-handed or just, keep it simple. But I'm just going to drag the yellow all the way through that pink just so I can make it look a little bit more orange. And then going back in with that pink again, just so I can brighten up the pink a little. Now you guys, don't worry if it looks messy at first. You can always go back in and fix it with some lighter shades and some darker shades as well. That's what I'm going to end up doing here.
Okay, so now going back into that Tartlet palette, I'm going to take these two colors here and I'm going to add them into the outer corners. And I'm also going to be taking this beat up palette that I have as well. It's called Meat Matte Nude by The Balm. And I'm going to take that gray shade in there and the top one here to add more depth into the eye, because I noticed that on the actual picture it has like a kind of gray tone, so I'm going to be adding that one as well. Just going back and forth into those two shades right there. And going straight into the outer corner. And you could also drag that color right down into your lash line. And don't worry guys, if it's looking like a hot mess to you right now, you definitely can go in right after, because you're going to do your foundation and it's going to clean up all the edges and it's going to make it look pretty dang flawless if you do it right. So I'm realizing that this color is making my dark circles look even more like a dark circle. So just you know, don't mind that. I'm gonna fix it. I'm going to fix it. Going back in with a fluffier brush. I'm just going to drag it right over top like this. And you definitely want to go slow in this process. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of that light gray shade from the Meat Matte Nude palette, and I'm going to add that coming right up. And I'm going to tilt my head up like this so I can see exactly where my socket to my eye is. So I'm going to look up and place that right in that socket area. You guys want to do this super slow because you can easily mess up that yellow. And you're going to slowly build that color right there.
Okay, so once you have a pretty good base of the dark colors, I'm going back in with Bombshell and Best Friend from that Amazonian Tarte Clay palette, and I'm just going to add that back into the inner and outer corners, just being very careful where I place it. Remember, you can always go back in and add more bright colors if you feel like the darkness kind of took away from the bright colors. Now I'm taking a big fluffy brush and blending out the edges just so I can get it very soft. Taking that Sugarpill purple color, I'm going to add that right on top of the dark shades that I placed, just so it can have a little bit more of a purple tone to it. Going into that palette again, I'm taking Fashionista and just with a small dense brush, putting it into the inner and outer corners of my eye, making sure that it's very blended out. Now don't worry if it looks like a mess to you right now, it will all come together. Just continue blending and adding and taking away colors as you see fit. Now taking Supermom, I'm going to place that right underneath my eyebrow just so I can blend out the top of that of those colors. Now taking some pink on a fluffy brush, I'm going to add that right into the crease as well, just so it can give it a little bit more color. Just play with it and go back and forth into the colors until you feel like it looks good or it's how you envisioned your makeup to be.
Okay, so I have one side of my eye already done with the eyelashes, eyeliner, and everything. As you can see on this side, like, the difference is totally crazy when you see with eyelashes, without eyelashes. I'm going to use this yellow eyeliner. I'm going to use this one to create this really bright yellow intensity right here. Let me see if I can zoom you in. So I'm going to be using this eyeliner to make that yellow crease. So you guys are going to want to go very slow when you're applying this because it's eyeliner. And eyeliner, when you mess up, really sucks. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves. Okay, so I'm going to be outlining where the yellow meets the darker shade of my eye. So, very carefully with a very steady hand, go in slow strokes versus doing one whole line. I feel like it's easier just going little by little.
I feel like eyeliner is definitely a harder part of makeup, so definitely take your time and be patient when you're doing any sort of eyeliner on any look, because the finished result will always be so worth it. So remember to take your time and be patient, and if you mess up, it's okay. It's just makeup. You could always fix it super easily.
Okay, so now that you have the yellow liner down, I'm going to take this black eyeliner from Urbandecay called Perversion. I'm going to tightline my waterline. Gonna tightline the bottom too. Now I'm gonna take this small dense brush and I'm going to blend out that eyeliner that I just put down. And like I said, it's okay that it's a mess. You're going to go in later on with your concealer and you're going to conceal it, so it's going to go all the way. I'm going to take another eyeliner from Urbandecay. It's a purple one called Psychedelic Sister, and I'm going to add that to the rest of the underneath of my eye. And now for the eyeliner, the most difficult part of any makeup, I feel. I'm going to be using this one here from Itcosmetics. And this one is a really good one. I've been using this one for a while now, and so far it's done very well. It's super waterproof, so once you put it down, it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm going to start by lining from the inner corner to the outer corner. And again, guys, you're going to want to be very patient with this and go slow, because once you mess up eyeliner, especially in these areas here, it's going to really mess up. So take your time. And now when it gets to the wing over here, I always start from connecting this corner and dragging it out. So once you get that end point to the length that you want, I'm just going to take from right here in this end and just drag it inwards. Just like that. And then of course when it's all jaggedy, you want to fill it in and straighten it out. Okay, so now that your eyeliner is completely down, I'm going to be curling my eyelashes and then applying some of this Urbandecay Troublemaker mascara. This is a really good mascara. I just barely started using this one. Before I used to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and personally I think this one is way better. So I'm going to go and apply my eyelashes off camera, and then I'll come back with you guys so I can start applying the foundation and beating this face to the gods. Alright, so now that we have both of our eyelashes done, our eyeliner down, now we can move on to my favorite part of makeup in general. So I'm going to be doing the foundation. Dark circles, and I have pretty big pores in this area of my face. I'm going to be using a little bit of Smashbox's Photo Finish Color Correcting, what is this? Foundation primer, my gosh. And I'm going to be using the Optical Illusion by Urbandecay. Now, the difference between these two, this one is a lot smoother on the face, and this one kind of is sticky. It has a very silicone-y texture to it. I'm going to take a little bit of that one on my finger, and I'm just going to rub it in to the areas that need color correcting. Now I have dark circles, so I'm just going to pat that right underneath. And I have a little bit of acne scars on my face, so I'm going to try to cover that up as well. Now I realized that I tried to recreate that photo that I showed you of the succulent. It didn't really come out as I planned it to, but I think it still looks very, very cool. So I'm going to take a little bit of that Urbandecay, and let me tell you, a little bit goes a long way. So about that much should be enough. I feel like this might be a little bit too much actually, so just be wary of that. I'm going to take a little bit on my finger, and I'm just going to place it where I have my most trouble areas. I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead too. Right now my foundation color is totally off. Like, I don't really tan, so I have weird tan marks. Like, my chest is way lighter than my face, and my face is kind of dark, and my foundation's a little light, and it's just all over the place. But I'm mixing two foundations together, so it kind of works, kind of doesn't. You guys be the judge, I guess. I'm taking this Clinique in the shade CN40, and I'm taking this one in the shade CN52. So one of them is a little darker than the other, so hopefully my foundation kind of works and it doesn't get all crazy looking. So I'm going to take the back of my hand again, I'm going to add a little bit at a time. So I'm taking a little drop of that lighter color, mixing it with the little bit darker. So it's about like that. I'm just going to use my hand as a palette. I'm going to blend it on the back of my hand. So I'm just dabbing it in like this first, placing it where I need it to be, and I'll take a little bit down my neck too, just so I won't have a weird demarcation line. And I'm just placing it like that. I'm going to take a damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to bounce that all over the foundation. Alright, after you have it blended in, I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape in light medium, and I'm going to take a little bit of that and just make a little triangle like that. And as you can see, this is a very intense highlight. I'm going to take a little bit of tan shape tape, and I'm going to add the smallest amount right with it on the sides, just so I can have a better blend of colors and all that. And I'm only going to take that on the underneath my eye. So I'm going to take that beauty blender and start pouncing it on my face. Honestly, this is definitely to go out makeup, like super casual, gonna go to church in this makeup. I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna take a tiny baby beauty blender and I'm going to use that right under my eye. So as soon as you set that down, I'm going to be taking my Laura Mercier setting powder, translucent setting powder. I'm going to take a little bit on a beauty blender actually and set the underneath of my eye. I kind of feel like the tap off the extra. I feel like the wetness of the beauty blender really helps to set that powder into the skin. Alright, so now that I set that area with the beauty blender, I'm going to take my kabuki brush, tap off the extra, and just dab it. I'm going to be taking Jeffree Star's Peach Goddess highlighter, and I'm going to be taking that on a fan brush, and I'm going to add it to my cheekbones and pretty much all the high points of my face. I think this is my second favorite part of makeup. To be shiny, I want people to see me from a mile away. Like a lighthouse or something. Add a little bit to the cupid's bow. Alright, so on a stippling flat top brush, I'm going to take the contour color in that Too Faced Peach palette. Now I'm going to take that underneath my chin to kind of hide my double chin that I got going on. Just gonna hide it. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm gonna put it away under the bed because, yeah, don't want no double chin, girl. Now that I have applied my bronzer, I'm gonna be going into my NYX's Shade and Contour palette. I'm gonna be taking these two colors right here, mixing them together on this brush, tap off any extra, and I'm just going to go straight in to the contour. Using a very light hand though. Try to hold the brush at an angle like this instead of up close, because if you do that, you can accidentally put too much color on a certain spot that you really don't want it. The blush that I'm going to be using today is this Milani blush in Tea Rose. As I say, go in with a very light touch. I'm going to add a little bit on my kabuki brush, and I'm going to place it on my apples of my cheeks. So now that I have that, I'm going to be using the NYX Contour and Shade Palette once again to contour my nose. So I'm going to be taking this little brush here, and I'm going to be dipping into the same contour palette of what I use to contour my cheeks. And I'm just going to very carefully contour my nose. So now that I have that down, I'm going to be taking that little baby beauty blender once again to blend out my nose contour. Taking this NYX pencil in the shade, it is called Soft Spoken. So this is, now I'm going to line my lips with this shade. So now that your lips are lined, I'm going to be taking the color Cabinet Show by NYX. It's a liquid lipstick. So I'm going to take this color and just add that right on top. Now to complete the entire look, take your favorite setting spray. I'm just using All Nighter Pollution Protection by Urbandecay. I'm going to shake it up. And just shower in it. Alright guys, so this is my finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I loved making it for you guys. This is definitely inspired by the summer and festivals and music. I tried to recreate a succulent, but it really didn't work out as planned. As you can see, it definitely doesn't look like a succulent, but more like a Hawaiian sunset, I guess. But I tried. But yeah, this is the finished look, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's been a while since I've been back, or since I've been on YouTube. I have like a couple of videos. So definitely like and subscribe. That'd be really awesome. And I will hopefully see you in my next video.